Okay, so I have my 36 by 48, and I'm using, I bought a spinner from Jessica Winterstrom, and on top of it, did I put a 3-foot canvas? So sometimes what I do is I put a bigger canvas on top to hold the even bigger canvas, and I think I did. So I think there's a 3-foot canvas underneath this 3 by 4 foot canvas. I'm using Sherwin-Williams Color to Go in Tricorn Black. They don't make them anymore, unfortunately. In Canada, I haven't found a good replacement. In the States, because I've tried all the Glittens, I don't really like them. They're kind of oily and gross. In the States, I think people like Color Place from Walmart and Onyx. So you see I've used 3 quarts. It's important not to put too much paint on, especially a bigger piece, because it's really hard to spin that middle off. No matter what, on this size of piece, you're definitely going to get melty cells. So you have to be okay with that. I've mixed my paints in these big red cups. There's probably about 8 to 10 ounces of paint in there. Now, I also know the outer edges of my paints are probably going to spin off, but I just kind of do it anyways in case, because you never know what's going to happen. So I've layered the 2 interference colors, and then 2 paint, and then more piggies. It's important to layer properly with not too many pigments in between, because they won't really hold up the cell activator. Then in saying that, I know this is going to be huge and melty anyways, so I don't really care. I've made my cell activator a little thicker. It's the Shelly Art recipe with Australian Floetrol, and I was hoping that thicker cell activator would hold everything up better, and you'll see the end result. You'll also notice that most of what I did is going to be covered up by the clouds that I'm doing, but that's okay. So when I'm pouring, that's my cell activator. I'm not going to pour my cell activator over the whole thing. I'm going to do it in bunches, because by the time I get to the end, that cell activator would have sunk down. And you can see my paints are a little thicker, but that's fine. And basically, this is what I do the whole way around. And with thicker cell activator, you see the cells take longer to develop, which is fine too. We're going to do a speed up in a minute. I'm not going to make you watch this whole thing. And there's my second layer of cell activator. So if you do like swirls, this is a good way to do it. And there we go. Super fast. This is quite long and tedious, isn't it? This piece has taken me a really long time, I have to say. You guys will let me know if it was worth it or not. I don't know. All right, and here she is spinning. And I'm just going to spin as much as I can and keep kind of positioning it. It's not going to be perfectly level. That's fine. you can see that comet shining. I just love comet. So there she is. So I took her over to the resining floor, or just my floor there, and I used about 60 ounces of resin for this size. It's hard to work quickly, obviously, with this size, but you just have to go as fast as you can. And I like to use my hands. I find it easier. Some people they have like resin spreaders and everything. I just kind of like to feel where it needs to go. And I make sure to put my hands around the edges so it all falls over nicely. And there I am torching, a lot of torching. And also it's really hard to do on the floor. So she didn't dry that badly. I mean, yes, there's warping in certain areas, but if you like swirls, then it's pretty swirly. And if you like this, sorry, it's not going to end up looking like this. And then I put bigger cups around the edges, and I just took bigger canvases to cover to not get any dust the best I can for this size. There's Bob protecting and Kurt Cobain, both protecting her. So here's the final result resin. So that's the first layer. I mean, those sparkles, Velvet and Comet, are just my favorite, I think, I have to say. So you can see it's like you see cells in some areas, and other areas it's kind of melted, but there's a swirl. Okay, let's make some paint out of some TLP. So I'm going to use TLP Galaxy. Now, I've tried 3 products, and 2 are similar and 1 is a little different, and I'll tell you. If you want a clear, transparent, glossy paint with a little more body, you can use Liquitex or any heavy gloss gel. And something very similar that has a similar look is the PBO Bindex. Bindex Brilliant. So it looks white, but these are both very glossy and dry clear. They don't have much body to them, so they're kind of more like a glaze than a paint. So if that's what you're looking for, these 2 are really similar. The other one I'm going to do, which is a little different, is this Try Art. It's a Canadian company. It's called Clear Modeling Paste. Now, most modeling pastes that I saw were not clear. This was the only clear one that I saw. There could be more, but the reason I like it is because it does have more body to it, and it is a little more opaque because there's things in it, but it dries clear. So when you first mix your pigments with this, they will appear much lighter, but when they dry, they're clear. Now, I will say this takes away some of the sparkle of the piggies. So if you want super sparkly paint, I would stick with these 2. If you want something with more body that dries clear, a little less sparkly, this Clear Modeling Paste by Try Art is the way to go. So I'm gonna disperse them in Joe Sonia Gloss. So why don't I do that now? I'm just gonna do, you know what, I'll do a bit because I'll do all 3. Oh, that's quite a bit, Lisa, but whatever, let's go for it. You know, I always do too many. So I'm gonna open the Galaxy, opening it far from my face because I'm not wearing a mask. Let all those sparklies fly out now. I'm kind of nervous. You know what? let's not waste. Just in case, I'm gonna just pour out a little bit because I got a little excited with my gloss here. So I'll do like 1.5 of these. You know I don't measure if you know me. We'll see how far this takes us. So as I said, the PBO and the Liquitex were very comparable and similar. So either one will do. So maybe I won't do both of them because they're so similar. I'll just do the gloss and the Tri-Art. Okay, so I've dispersed my pigments. Now, just so you can see what I'm doing, I'll do it on this, gross. I'll do it on this clean board. So what I would normally do, it's probably better to do it in a cup so you can mix, but I just wanted you to see. So let's say, I'll just do a little bit. So paint here, and we will put our, I'll make a little well, like I'm making a pasta. Okay, and you'll see it retains its color and it dries clear. Right now it's looking like a hot mess, don't worry. And you can adjust how much you tint it with. I might need to put more. I've never mixed really on a flat surface like this, so I'm not like looking really professional. But all of these things dry clear, not to worry. So I actually don't mind this gray, but obviously it's not what we're looking for. So I'm gonna keep adding my color and mixing. Try not to make a mess. So you just kind of keep doing this until you get your desired color. Golden is good too. And it doesn't, it depends what viscosity, is that the right word you're looking for? It doesn't have to be heavy gel. They have like extra heavy, so they'll all end up the same. It just kind of depends what you're looking for. So, oh, this is nice. Still, it's not like this, so I would keep adding, but you can see it's getting darker. I actually quite like this gray, but, and then, so we can keep adding and going on forever, but this is nice. I'll keep this one. So let's move on now to the Tri-Art. So pretty. Okay, so you guys are like, why are you butchering this thing? Don't worry, I'm kind of professional. Okay, I'm just cleaning my tool. Okay, so let's see if we have enough of this. Yeah, I should be okay. So same thing with the Tri-Art. Now remember I said, when you use this, it will look like it lightens up a lot, but you can see it's a little thicker consistency than the gloss that I just used. And because it's a modeling paste, so it's kind of more viscous. Am I using the right word? Whatever, you guys know what I mean. So you see it kind of builds like that. Now, let's give this a go. Oh, Lord. Oh, I forgot my little well. You guys are probably all laughing at me right now. But it doesn't matter how I do it, it's just that we get to the desired result. So in my painting, I'm gonna be using both kinds depending on if I want a more translucent look or if I want a more matte look with this color. So you can see how light it is, and I could keep adding, but remember, I promise you it dries clear, so you will get the desired results you want. It will just be slightly less sparkly. So if you're painting and you want the light to shine through in different ways, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix these two. So some areas are more translucent and some are more opaque and blocked off. All right, let's just finish this whole thing out. So basically, those are a few options of how to make paint with your TLPs. Now, I know this is all fun. I would really, it's much faster when you do it in a little mixing cup, but I wanted you guys to see the difference of how thick this is compared to that. So I'll add a little bit more, even though I know it will dry darker. I'll just add the whole thing. And there you have it. So let's hope this works on my painting, and let's get to painting. Oh, that's a nice color. All right, I'll be right back with you. So here I am. I've just taken white paint and black paint and kind of made grays and white and black, and I'm just layering and trying to put clouds in to break up the swirl a little bit, but kind of also go with what I see. So I want to leave some lacing coming through. I want to leave some of that comet and velvet coming through. So this is the first layer. It took a long time, so I'm only showing you a little snippet. Hi guys, so I've resined what I painted yesterday. I know it looks kind of dark and we're a little nervous, but that's okay. We're gonna be positive. I know it's hard to see because of the reflection, but let me show you some areas that I like, kind of smoky. You can see still the shine of the pigments, hopefully. And so the plan is to lighten up maybe this area, lighten up this area. So I've mixed up my TLP paints, okay? So what I've done is I've mixed sterling, oh, you couldn't read that, sterling and galaxy, and I've done that with the tri-art to make it more like paint, so a little more opaque. Kind of looks nice. And I've mixed up velvet, which is the blue interference, and simplicity, which is kind of like a white sparkle, with the Liquitex heavy gloss gel to make like a glaze. So I'm gonna use them interchangeably to hopefully make this look like storm clouds. I mean, you guys need to pray for me because I don't know. I mean, this looks kind of like a cloud here. I don't know what's going on up. Oops, I don't know what's going on up here. So wish me luck. I'll keep you posted. Okay, so I'm layering all my piggies. What I'm doing now is after doing the layers, I just took my white paint and I'm just highlighting. So it takes your eye to where the highlighted clouds are and maybe away from some of the ugly stuff that I'm not sure of. I also decided to throw in TLP Harvest Gold to brighten it up a little bit. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to update you on what I've done. You can see I've really added the layers and a lot of velvet and galaxy, and I did Harvest Gold, and I mixed up a bit of Golden Peach, one of my favorites, just kind of layering them. And one of my signature colors when I was a portrait artist was Cad Red Light, which is one of my favorite colors. I just find it really pops. So I've added some Cad Red Light here, and just to show you how I did it up close, maybe I'll just do like a quick little thing here with velvet. So you can zoom in here, and I'll just go to this spot here, and I just, because you see this is the gloss, so it does show these lines. So this sponge is dirty, but I just kind of stipple it in, and you just keep layering and layering, and that's how you get that 3D effect. And really, what I brought my white paint out on the edges to kind of make it pop. So I think I'm really close to done. I'm gonna work on the little moon here in the middle a bit more, but I put some white paint on there, and then we're gonna resin and see what happens. So that's just my little sponge stippling thing. And then with the resin on top, you can kind of see the blue of the velvet, you can see the golds, you can see everything, and hopefully it will look really 3D. So let's see what happens when I resin it. So here she is, all resined up. You can see the velvet really brings a beautiful blue. It's hard to tell, but it does really look 3D because I did it in 3 layers. I'm also really glad that I put that harvest gold in there because it really kind of pops. And it definitely looks better in person. So I'm pretty pleased with it. And I do like how underneath there is some bloom parts that you see. Anyways, let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed.